Well, once again, the president has everybody talking about an issue and drawing attention to what has been decades, some would argue centuries, millennium age problem with this region and the conflicts that have been going on. And so, in short, for all the reasons that have been outlined in your report so far, against international law, the removal of over 1.5 million people, displaced people, the destruction itself of the region is massive. And yet, this is a homeland. This is where people want to be. And the other big concern, Todd, I think has been alluded to, is the unraveling of the very fragile peace deal that is currently in place. And yet there are still hostages to be returned. There is still a military presence from Israel inside Gaza. And so, in short, this is not going to fly, nor is this going to get any traction, for the main reason that the Arab countries in the surrounding areas are not willing to take the Palestinians. And so I see no fresh air that is going to be given to this idea.
You know, as you know, President Trump says a lot about a lot of things all the time. It can sometimes be hard to keep up. I wonder whether you think this is just him riffing about an issue that has confounded people for decades. And, as the Prime Minister of Israel has said, Peter, well, I appreciate the fact the president is at least willing to, quote, think outside the box. Your read on that?
Yeah, I think Netanyahu also called it unconventional thinking or a new idea. So I can't imagine that this is going to be U.S. foreign policy. And I suspect that Marco Rubio is getting briefed up right now on how to respond without offending the boss, without getting on the wrong side of Donald J. Trump. This is an issue that has confounded many U.S. administrations and many Canadian prime ministers. And I can tell you, having been to the region, Todd, it's trite to say how sophisticated, how complex, how nuanced the politics of that region is. And I suspect that even many Israelis would balk at the idea that the U.S. was simply going to take over this part of the region, not to mention all of the other countries who would be concerned with a strong U.S. presence there. Is it well intended to say they want to rebuild, they want to reconstruct? Sure. But I think to simply suggest that people are going to be forcibly removed or told to leave this territory is simply a non-starter. It simply cannot and will not happen. Wanting to further disarm and remove any threats, sure, again, a great idea, but it would have to be worked into a broader peace accord and an effort at reconstruction that would involve the Palestinian people.
Peter MacKay, former Foreign Affairs, National Defense, Justice Minister. Always good to see you, Peter. Appreciate you weighing in today on this one.